Ratification Day, the Today Show, and the Summer of Love get started on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 14th, 2022. It is the 14th day of the year. There are 351 days left in 2022. It's the second Friday in the third week, and it's the 25th day of winter. There are 3 days left until Betty White would have turned 100 years old, and sadly, 5 days ago, we lost Bob Saget. Now, there's not a lot going on in today's video. It was a really slow day in history, so I'm going to tell you a little something about Bob Saget. Bob Saget, everyone knows from America's Funniest Home Videos and Full House and all that stuff. He was also a really good stand-up comedian. Most people that know him just from the mainstream don't know that he was a really good stand-up comedian. Now, I used to be a stand-up comedian way back in the day, and I was never at the level where I got to work with Bob Saget or never even met him. But I have a bunch of comedy friends that are still in the business. Every single one of them all over my Facebook have said what a genuinely nice guy he was. And he was always there to lend a hand, give you advice, whatever he could do. He was just a really good guy, it seems like. I never met him, but I'm just going by what my friends say that do know him, that he was just a wonderful person. Anyway, back to the video. If today's your birthday, you are a Capricorn. Today is National Dress Up Your Pet Day. National Dress Up Your Pet Day on January 14th provides a special day to celebrate with your pets and show their fashion style. My son's girlfriend's dog has a dinner jacket. Not even kidding. All right, let's see what else January 14th has given us. 1639, the Fundamental Orders is written. This is the first written constitution that created a government in the United States, or what would become the United States. This was back in 1639, and it was adopted in Connecticut. 1784, the Revolutionary War Ratification Day, United States. Congress ratifies the Treaty of Paris with Great Britain so we could quit shooting each other. We were just talking about stand-up comedians, and Jay Moore, who used to be on Saturday Night Live, he's also a stand-up comedian. He had a great bit about how the British couldn't believe that they were beaten by a bunch of farmers and Indians. So the British didn't know what happened. He's like, I can tell you what happened. They wore red coats. They look like safety cones on the battlefield. Easy to shoot. 1907, an earthquake in Kingston, Jamaica kills more than 1,000 people. Wow, that's pretty rough. 1939, Norway claims Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. The 1960s counterculture. The Human Be-In takes place in San Francisco, California's Golden Gate Park. This sort of ends up by launching the Summer of Love. If you don't know about the Summer of Love, it was a very interesting time here in the United States. The Summer of Love was a social phenomenon that occurred during the summer of 1967 when as many as 100,000 people, mostly young people, supporting the hippie fashions and dress and behavior converged on San Francisco's neighborhood of Haight-Ashbury. This apparently was like shoulder-to-shoulder people for most of the summer. I actually used to work for a guy, his wife was in Haight-Ashbury during the Summer of Love. She is a very interesting woman, I can tell you that right now. The whole Summer of Love came about because of a few different things. One, they didn't trust the government anymore because of the Vietnam War. Everyone that was young and in the hippie movement back then was opposed to the Vietnam War. I mean, if you were that age, a lot of your friends you went to high school with or grew up with were dying in Vietnam. So it really was putting a bad taste in the young people's mouths of the day. When I was younger, I remember a lot of the kids I went to school with at a young age, they didn't have dads because they died in Vietnam. I can think of at least 4 or 5 offhand that I remember that is exactly what happened to these kids and their family. Pretty sad. But the Summer of Love and the hippie movement wasn't just about the anti-war thing, it was all about the music, and it was about rejecting consumerist values. They just weren't into what, normal life had been here in the United States for a long time. They were just against what by most people would have been considered a normal American life. They wanted to live their own life, they wanted to do their own thing. The Summer of Love just wasn't going on in San Francisco, California, it spread all the way to New York City. The Tompkins Square area and Greenwich Village, that was all involved in the whole free love, Summer of Love thing. But it was definitely a very interesting time in the United States. I mean, I'm obviously far too young to remember any of it, but it just seems really interesting. 1969, the Uss Enterprise Fire. An accidental explosion on board the USS Enterprise near Hawaii kills 28 sailors. Premiered on January 14th, 1952, The Today Show. Yes, it is 70 years old today. The long-running morning talk show that features news, reports, weather, and interviews with notable figures. The show first aired on January 14th, 1952. They've had a ton of people that have hosted that show or co-hosted, whatever. I mean, Matt Lauer, Al Roker, Carson Daly, Barbara Walters, Gene Shalit, Dave Garroway, J. Fred Muggs, Ann Curry, Tom Brokaw, Hugh Downs, Meredith Vieira, Deborah Norville, Bryant Gumbel, Jane Pauley, Katie Couric. This show has had everyone. Born on January 14th, 1969, Jason Bateman. He's an actor who starred as the lead character in the comedy series Arrested Development. His film credits include Juno, Horrible Bosses, Starsky and Hutch, Up in the Air, Zootopia, and Identity Theft. He's great. I think he was in Horrible Bosses too. Love that show. He's in Ozark, which is a Netflix show right now. I've watched it. It's great. He's the brother of Justine Bateman. She was big in the 80s and 90s. She was on Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. She was also in Desperate Housewives for a while. I liked her on that. But Jason Bateman's definitely a good actor. He played a weird part in the movie Smokin' Aces, where I won't spoil it for you. If you ever get a chance, watch that movie. He is married to Amanda Anka. They have 2 kids. Amanda Anka is the daughter of Paul Anka, the singer. Died on January 14th, 2016. We lost Alan Rickman. He was great. He played Snape on Harry Potter. He was in Die Hard, The Butler, Dangerous Liaisons, Sweeney Todd. He played Hilly Crystal on CBGB, which was an entertaining movie. He was in Dogma, and one of the best roles I think he ever played was Love Actually. Great movie. He played a great part. He met his future wife in 1965. Her name's Rima Horton, or Rima Horton, I'm not sure. Anyway, they met while they were actors, and this is 1965, and they moved in together in 1977. They got married in 2012. Don't want to rush it. Want to make sure it's going to stick. But yeah, he was definitely a good actor. I like the characters he played. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys got some information out of it. Hope you enjoyed it. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.